And boy, are we getting some traffic on my review of the Jacinda Ardern movie, Prime Minister, made, it's got to be said, with basically the home movies of Clark Gayford. And you're off. The cookers are off this morning. Gaylene, good morning.
Oh, good morning, Sean. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, look, I went to see the Prime Minister film a few days ago, and it did sort of oscillate between the victim narrative and the hero narrative, particularly the reluctant hero narrative. Remember all those shots of Shackleton?
Yeah, that's why I said, having done readings from the book, I think the book was written from this footage, but the Shackleton thing was such an interesting comparison and obviously huge to her. And I felt it too, because Shackleton's a great hero of mine, but for quite different reasons than Jacinda Ardern has him as a hero.
Mm. Yeah, and I mean, I wanted to talk from my own, emotions and experience going into the film, because, of course, I was a Jacinda voter and a left wing, and I really loved what Jacinda was doing initially. So I go into the film, and I'm actually really enjoying the first part of it. And I did go in there with the idea, like you're saying, to forgive and be zen, and understanding the weight of all the anger that is against her because of her decisions, and the fact that she hasn't owned up to them or faced the consequences yet, which we hope that will happen. So I went in there and I'm like, oh yeah, it's well put together, quite interesting, seeing the baby. It's quite humanising, as you say.
Yeah, well, everyone is human. That's truth. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was talking to a friend of mine, and every time, now we're on the victim narrative. We'll switch back to the hero narrative now. So they were manipulating you, so you have to realise that. But then when it got to the Parliament protest, which is of course why I went, because I went for work, there was 15 minutes of that. There was like 2 shots of White Island.
Yeah. Wasn't it weird the way they handled that? White Island, boom, and nothing more.
Yeah, nothing. There was actually no commentary. There was just a couple of shots. And then there was this disaster.
Oh, is this Gaylene Preston? Gaylene.
This is Gaylene Barnes.
Barnes.
I'm the director of River of Freedom.
Yeah, no, I thought it was you. Sorry, Gaylene. Well, Gaylene, that's interesting, because that's when I got interested, and because of, having seen your documentary, that was the birth of the platform that day. Actually, we went down there and did a survey, and I thought...
you know what? I saw you that day.
Yeah.
I saw you in a...
So, Gaylene, what was interesting to me was there's a moment there with Andrew Campbell where the protest is just starting, and he says, let's play to the centre. Let's go for the centre. Centre New Zealand doesn't agree with us. And I thought that was such a telling moment in that movie. It was they made the wrong political call, and they never tried to find it. And then the movie itself paints them as Trumpists and everything, and goes to the extremist narrative. And I thought that was the moment when she lost the prime ministership, because she was advised to make a political call that was just wrong. And from that moment on, she wasn't leading the country anymore. She was going home because she couldn't stand the noise, or she was peeking out from behind the curtains.
Yeah, and I suppose it reflects my own journey with her, and probably everyone else in New Zealand, is that at that moment, her halo fell off. I couldn't believe what was happening, what she was doing. And in terms of watching the movie, I also found I lost my zen at that point, and I just got so angry.
But Gaylene, look, this is
and,
so
you
good.
try
It's so good.
Yourself.
It's so good you rang in, but the other thing it doesn't show me, that movie, and it's curated and it's edited, just as the movie you made was curated and edited. But it was filmed largely by Clark, I think, in an intimate time, and part of it couldn't be manipulated. What we didn't see during the stuff in her office about the protest, we didn't see someone trying to crush the protesters. She wasn't in charge of turning on the sprinklers. She just abrogated her responsibility. She just became a passenger and an observer then, and she let other people do her dirty work, or she just was sticking her hands in her ears going la, 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 right?
Yeah, she's what you call a passive protagonist. in that way. So and that scene where the only action she did was to refuse a cup of tea by Plunket.
Yes, wasn't that a weird little segment? She basically tells him to shut up, and he's trying to bring everyone down. No, shut up. Stop talking, Clark. Someone else will have your bloody cup of tea.
But look, what she said at the start that really got me angry. She said 90 to 95% of those people down there on the lawn are probably not even mandated. They're not mandated teachers, nurses, and firemen.
Well, that's what it was. Wasn't what it was about in the end.
That was a lie. It was a dishonest, and in that sense, you could actually say that film was misinformation because definitely 90% of them were mandated people. And so I just want to...
No, we don't know that actually, Gaylene, and I'm not going to let you spread that.
Well, I do, because
but
I was
the fact
down
was she
there
didn't know anything about them.
Down there, and there was hundreds of thousands of people who weren't vaccinated, who didn't take, who lost their jobs, and that was the impulse of the film, of the protest. And so Michelle Walsh, to sort of direct that sequence without any context, without saying.
Well, we did a survey.
Information about why those people were there.
They were mostly, the majority of them were Labor and Green voters. And that was
but also you did a survey and it was mostly mandated people too.
Yeah.
It was about 85% unvaccinated.
So I just think that was such a telling moment that... But I don't think it was misrepresented. I think you and I could watch it and see the truth of what we were watching.